Welcome back to the Malaysia Money Matters show. It's December 19th, 2024, and we're diving deep into some really interesting Malaysian company news and economic indicators today.
Yeah, we've got a lot to unpack, hopefully to uncover some potential investment opportunities along the way.
Sounds good. So first up is SuperMax, the glove maker. They're proposing a bonus share issue.
Oh, right, 1 for 5.
Yeah, and a 1-for-20 bonus warrants issue as well. It seems like they're trying to reward shareholders.
For sure, and that comes after their share price surged 40%.
Wow, in just the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, they've already gone past the average target price set by analysts for, like, the next 12 months.
Hmm. So is now the time to buy in, or has the rally run its course?
That's the big question. What do you think?
Well, I mean, it's tempting to jump on, but maybe we should see what else is out there first. Let's talk about YTL Power International. They were just cleared in that one Besteranet project probe by the MACC.
Yeah, that's good news for them.
Do you think that could boost investor confidence?
Oh, absolutely. Their share price is already up 44% since the start of the year.
Hmm.
This news just removes a big question mark. Could mean even more growth in the future.
Okay, so 2 potentially interesting companies so far. Now, what about a company that's about to go public? Northern Solar Holdings Berhad.
Right, they're getting ready to list on the ACE market.
Yeah, they're aiming to raise almost RM65 million in their IPO.
And what's interesting is their focus on expansion.
Oh, yeah.
They've already completed over 1,000 solar energy installations across Malaysia, and now they're planning to grow their operations even further.
With the global push for renewable energy, that sounds like it could be a pretty attractive IPO.
For sure.
All right, let's shift gears a bit and talk about the travel industry. Malaysia Airports Holdings Berhad, they're reporting a huge jump in passenger
A
traffic.
big jump.
Yeah, 16.1% year-on-year increase, just in November.
Wow.
And international travel is leading the way.
That's a good sign.
So, does this mean the Malaysian tourism industry has fully recovered?
Well, it's a very positive sign, that's for sure.
Yeah.
As tourism rebounds, it's logical that MHB will see their earnings grow as well. So the potential for gains in this sector, definitely something to keep an eye on.
All right, let's move over to the property market now. Scientex Berhad, they're planning to launch 8,000 affordable homes in the 2025 fiscal year.
They're really going all in on affordable housing.
Yeah, with housing affordability being such a big issue, it seems like a pretty smart move.
Absolutely. They're tapping into a big demand, consistent demand. That focus could really drive their growth and profit for years to come.
Yeah, it's great to see a company taking on this challenge
Mm-hmm.
and, potentially making a profit while doing it.
Yeah.
Speaking of ambitious projects, Matrix Concepts Holdings Berhad is breaking ground on a huge project, the Malaysia Vision Valley City project,
Right. 12-year development plan.
and a RM15 billion price tag.
This is more than just a construction project. They're trying to create a whole new city, a hub for innovation and growth. It has the potential to totally transform that region.
Ujuri Sembilan.
Nigeri Sembilan, yeah, and attract major investment, not just in property, but across a lot of different sectors.
That sounds like a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
And there's more happening in Ujuri Sembilan. SC Guthrie, Eco World Development Group, and NS Corporation are teaming up. They're going to develop a, get this, almost RM3 billion industrial park.
Yeah, and they're targeting some really exciting high-growth industries like aerospace, electronics, logistics, biotechnology.
It seems like a pretty solid collaboration.
It is. Big players are coming together, bringing their own strengths to the table. It's a commitment to high-value investment, building a strong industrial ecosystem.
So a lot of promising companies out there, but what about the overall economic outlook for Malaysia?
Well, there is good news on that front. Malaysia's trade surplus hit a 14-month high,
Really?
expanded 26.3% year-on-year,
Wow.
reached RM 15.3 billion in November.
Okay, so 55 straight months of surplus. So what's driving that continued success?
Well, a few things. Global demand for Malaysian exports remains strong.
Especially in electronics?
Electronics and commodities, and also, the government's efforts to diversify our export markets, it's been paying off.
So it's less reliance on a single trading partner.
Exactly. Makes us more resilient to global shifts.
So it's safe to say that things are looking pretty positive for Malaysia's economic future.
Overall, yeah, economists are generally pretty optimistic about the outlook for 2025.
Okay.
Of course, there are always potential challenges. I mean, global economic conditions can change fast. Things like geopolitical tensions, shifts in trade policies, those things could impact our trade performance. But for now, the signs are good.
That's good to hear. Now let's get into some specific political news that could impact the economy. The Ministry of Health is introducing a new rotation system.
To try to address the workforce shortages.
Yeah, in healthcare.
I think it's a good first step. If you want to have equitable access to healthcare across the country, you need a well-distributed system, a well-staffed system.
Right.
This rotation system could help take some of the pressure off overworked healthcare professionals and maybe improve the quality of care overall.
It seems like a win-win for both healthcare workers and patients.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about a development in finance. Bank Negara Malaysia is planning to abolish something called the Rule of 78. Can you explain what that is?
Oh, yeah. It's a method for calculating interest charges on loans,
Okay.
and it ends up penalizing borrowers who repay early.
So they're trying to make things fairer.
Exactly. By getting rid of this rule, Bank Negara is trying to make the financial system more transparent, and that could lead to some really positive outcomes. Could encourage responsible borrowing, could foster innovation.
Sounds like a win for borrowers. Now let's switch to cryptocurrency. The Ministry of Finance just announced that they found very few instances of cryptocurrency being used for money laundering in Malaysia.
That's interesting.
What do you think this says about the government's stance on crypto?
It suggests that they're taking a very cautious approach, but a pragmatic one. They're definitely monitoring it, but they're also recognizing its potential.
Right.
It seems like they're trying to find that balance between encouraging innovation and mitigating risks.
So it'll be interesting to see how their regulatory approach evolves as crypto continues to grow.
Yeah.
Now, finally, let's touch on the equity market. CIMB Securities has released a positive outlook for Malaysia's equity market for 2025.
They're forecasting 8% earnings growth.
Wow.
And they're especially optimistic about a few sectors in particular:
Yikes.
banking, construction, and utilities.
So, this outlook from a major financial institution,
Yeah.
it's a good sign for investors, right?
Absolutely. It means that they believe in Malaysia's economic prospects. It also gives us some insights into specific areas where we might see strong returns. But of course, like with any investment, you always have to do your research.
Always.
Due diligence is essential.
So we've covered a lot of ground here. We've looked at some promising companies, positive economic indicators, and some really important policy changes. Before we move on, are there any key takeaways you would highlight for our listeners?
Well, first of all, today's deep dive has revealed a number of companies with potential investment opportunities.
Well,
SuperMax, YTL Power International, Northern Solar, Malaysia Airports Holdings Berhad, Scientex, and Matrix Concepts.
got it.
All of these companies are worth looking into, especially for those interested in things like renewable energy, property, and infrastructure.
And we've seen that the overall economic context is quite favorable. Malaysia's trade surplus is strong.
Right.
The government is taking a proactive approach to healthcare and financial reforms.
Yes.
And we've got that positive outlook from CIMB Securities. It all seems to point to a healthy and potentially profitable economic environment.
Definitely. But it's important to stay informed,
Yeah.
Do your research and make decisions that align with your own goals and your own risk tolerance.
Absolutely.
Yeah, staying informed is key, especially in the fast-paced world of investing. Speaking of keeping an eye on things, there's been some news about the KL Singapore high-speed rail project.
Oh, yeah. What's going on with that?
MRCB, they
Yeah.
just announced that they're pulling out of the consortium.
That's a pretty big deal. What does that mean for the project? Are we going to see delays now?
Well, MRCB leaving could lead to some restructuring.
Right.
Within the consortium. I wouldn't be surprised if there were some changes to the timeline, but the government is still committed to the HSR, so it'll be interesting to see how they handle this and keep things moving forward.
Okay, so some potential hiccups for the HSR. But let's zoom in on a specific company now. What about Pestec International? They're working on a debt restructuring, right?
Yeah, they've proposed a scheme of arrangement to settle RM 267 million of outstanding debt. It's a big step for them to kind of get their financial house in order.
Scheme of arrangement, that might sound a little technical for some of our listeners. Can you break that down a bit?
Sure. Basically, it's a legal agreement between a company and its creditors. So in this case, Pestec is proposing a plan to restructure how they're going to pay back their debt.
Okay.
Could involve extending deadlines, reducing the total amount of debt, or even swapping some debt for equity in the company. The creditors have to agree to it, and it also has to be approved by the court.
So for someone thinking about investing in Pestec, is this debt restructuring a bad sign?
Well, it's something to think about carefully.
Yeah.
It could mean the company's facing some tough financial times, but on the other hand, it could be a positive step towards becoming more financially stable in the long run. Investors need to really look at Pestec's overall financials, the details of the restructuring plan and their prospects for the future before they make any decisions.
Okay, so a mixed bag with Pestec. Now let's move on to RHB Bank. They're involved in a legal battle over their bank assurance deal with Tokyo Marine.
Right. They appealed a high court ruling that didn't go their way.
Hmm.
This dispute could have a big impact on their bank assurance business. So, yeah, we'll have to see what happens with this appeal. It'll be important for both RHB and Tokyo Marine.
To be honest, I'm not sure what bank assurance is.
Oh, it's pretty simple.
But-
It's just banks selling insurance products.
Ah, okay.
So instead of going directly to an insurance company, you can buy insurance like life insurance or home insurance right from your bank.
Yeah.
It's a way for banks to make extra money
Right.
and for insurance companies to reach more customers.
That makes sense. So let's shift gears from banking to global politics. Donald Trump's back in the White House. Some economists are worried about his policies.
Yeah, his protectionist policies, they could impact global trade.
And how would that affect Malaysia?
Well, some people call it the Trump wild card. We can't ignore it, that's for sure. His policies, especially on trade, could have a domino effect on the global economy. Malaysia being so trade dependent, we'll need to watch closely how things play out and how it might impact different sectors here.
It seems like there are both risks and opportunities for Malaysia on the horizon.
Exactly. And that's what makes this market so interesting for investors. There's potential for reward, but you have to manage the risks. The key is to stay informed, be adaptable, and make smart decisions based on research and a good understanding of what's happening, both economically and politically.
So for our listeners who are interested in the Malaysian market, what's a good starting point?
I'd say the most important thing is to stay informed.
Okay.
Keep up with financial news, pay attention to those economic indicators, and follow company announcements. And of course,
Subscribe to the Malaysia Money Matters show.
exactly. We'll break down the complexities and give you the insights you need to make informed decisions.
Absolutely. So before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, let's go over some key takeaways for our listeners.
Yeah.
We talked about some companies with potential.
Right.
SuperMax, YTL Power, Northern Solar, Malaysia Airports Holdings, Burhead, Scientex, and Matrix Concepts. These are all in sectors that are expected to grow, like renewable energy, property, and infrastructure.
And we also see that the overall economic situation in Malaysia is pretty good. Strong trade surplus. The government is working on making healthcare and finance better. And CIMB Securities has a positive outlook. All this suggests that there are good opportunities for investors.
Of course, as always, do your research.
Yeah.
Assess the risks and make decisions that fit your own goals and your own risk tolerance. Don't just follow the crowd, make informed choices. That's the basis for successful investing.
The more informed you are, the better equipped you'll be to navigate it.
So true. So for our listeners who are ready to start investing in Malaysia, what's your final piece of advice after all these insights from our deep dive?
I'd say remember the importance of diversification. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Spread your investments across different types of assets, different sectors, even different regions. That way you can minimize risk and potentially get better returns over time.
That's great advice. Well, we've covered a lot today. Promising companies, economic indicators, political analysis, the whole works. We hope our listeners feel more confident about navigating the Malaysian market.
Yes, definitely. And hopefully they've discovered some potential investment opportunities along the way.
Absolutely. And a big thank you to our listeners for joining us on this deep dive. Don't forget to subscribe to the Malaysia Money Matters show for more in-depth analysis and expert insights. We'll keep you updated on all things Malaysian finance. Until next time, happy investing. Hey there, thanks for tuning in. If you would like a deeper dive into all the investment opportunities from today's news, subscribe to my newsletter at moneymatters.substack.com. I will be sharing a deeper analysis of the key investment opportunities from today's news, including what makes these opportunities stand out and how they fit into the broader market trends. By subscribing to the Malaysia Money Matters newsletter, you will also get exclusive insights on my watch list and portfolio and fundamental reports on Malaysian listed companies.